What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. Yo, man, Tszyu versus Terrence Crawford, man. I think shit that's a great fight if they can make it, man. I would pay good money to see that fight. I like that fight a lot. I favor Crawford in the fight. I think Crawford would knock him out late in that fight, but I think it would be competitive. I really do. Tszyu, his height, his power, his reach would give Crawford some problems in the beginning. I'm sure it would. The height, the size. I mean, it'd be a few things Crawford would have to figure out, which it ain't that, which is what he usually do anyway. I think it would be in the later rounds when Crawford really start dialing in and really just laying it on him good. But I do think it would be, it would be a little bit nip and tuck in the beginning. I could see Zoo possibly having some moments in the one of the first couple of rounds with his speed and power. But see, he'll have it'll be a similar situation to Arrow, and what I mean by that is Tszyu is an aggressive fighter that like to come forward, and that played right in the Crawford hands right there. So that would be to his demise later in the fight. I have never seen Tim laid back and I mean he seemed to go get you type dude, and that would be I mean, I wouldn't say that's the wrong approach against Crawford, but I would just say that Crawford is so versatile. I think no matter what he came with early, he would be able to weather the storm and get him in the later rounds and start teeing off on him with the big shots, big clean shots, and start busting them up. And I think he eventually get him out of there in the championship rounds if they had that fight. But I don't see how the fans don't get their money's worth. Quiet as kept. Earl, my man, but shit, that could be. I'm not saying. I mean, it might be a better fight. Right now, I don't know what cataract surgery entails, but if Earl just had surgery, I don't know if it wouldn't be a bad idea for him to go have a little tune-up fight before he go in right back in the ring with Crawford, especially if Bud ain't trying to fight him right now. I hope he don't, I hope he learned his lesson from last time, sitting around waiting on one particular fight. You need to stay busy and keep your skills sharp. So it don't look like they trying to make the fight with him and Spence. So I think if him and Zoo can make that fight, I definitely pay to watch it. I definitely pay to watch it, and this may be a case. I mean, Spence may or may not get that rematch. He may have to live with that one. He really might. And like I say, if it come down to that, it'd be all his fault. I mean, because he did terrible business to have that fight. He really did. So I'm all for Tim Zoo and Terrence Crawford fight. I hope somehow they can make it happen. Although I would like to see him fight Errol again too, but either one of them, I could have it either way. Though both of them is great fights. And like I say, the one with Tim Zook just possibly might be a little bit better fight because I think from where I'm looking, the way the fight looked when Crawford and Spence fought, it looked to me like Crawford been getting ready for Spence for a couple of years. It wasn't no one training camp that he got that prepared for that particular fighter. Every mistake he made and all that. This was Crawford knew that was his big fight, and it's like he been doing what the top guys do, prepare for that big fight that you're gonna have one day. Like Floyd was always knowing he was gonna fight Manny Pacquiao. I think Crawford was much more about the business still of boxing than Errol is. I think Errol got a lot of other shit. I mean, at the time anyway, just seemed like he got a lot of other priorities outside of boxing. Every time you see Terrence Crawford, he in the gym. When he ain't fighting, he in that sparring with Shakur. I mean, he a gym rat, and he 30, and he older than all of them. And him, only dude seem like he be in the gym as much as Crawford to me is Jerron Ennis. out of the guys in that division. So, I mean, hopefully, hopefully Earl got the love back for the sport and gonna be back to who he was. But that's neither here nor there. Looked like Crawford is more interested in this fight with Tszyu, and I'm down to watch it. Like I said, I think that'll be a good fight. That's one I would like to see. But at 154 pounds, Crawford gonna be stronger, faster. I just see shit. I think Tszyu. I don't see how he don't get knocked out just because the aggressiveness that he gonna come with. Now the only thing that now I will say this: I think Tszyu is a bigger puncher than Earl Spence, and his power could make Crawford switch up his whole game plan. So, big punches can change the whole complexion of how a particular fight. And it can start looking like the post-all fight. But that's why I was saying I really would have to side with Crawford because he can win more ways than one. He can outbox you. He can outfight you. He know how to run around the ring if he have to and still score points. I mean, he the real deal. Bud, the real deal. He the whole package. So if him and Spence ain't gonna bump and he choose to fight Tszyu, I'm all for that, man. I think that's a great fight, man. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Till next time, this man Spill Dog. I'm out.